We are gonna start working on some small dog handling. I'm gonna include some reaching, so this could be petting, but this could also be pre-equipment work. So bringing equipment into it too early can derail progress. If we can start with maybe just getting the dog more comfortable with some reaching. This won't really be in real time necessarily because I'm gonna jump around somewhat. You need to stick with where you're at with your dog until you see that they are feeling comfortable. Big signs we're looking for are staying in place or moving towards us. Moving away, even if it's leaning away or getting up and walking away, is the dog saying, like, this doesn't feel good to me. And our goal when we're doing counter conditioning work is to make it feel really good to the dog. So I'm gonna start seated on the sofa because with this dog, I think I can just lure her from the floor into position. We're gonna start with our stationing cue, which is telling the dog where this is gonna happen. Get my treat. So I'm gonna have multiple treats ready to go because once the dog gets into station, I'm gonna reward them several times. So this green blanket, I've got a treat at her nose. Yes. 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 So I'm rewarding one after another. Yes. 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 Okay. And I'm gonna show her one and toss it on the floor so we can start again. I'll start with the treat at her nose. Yes. Position doesn't matter. Yes. I just want the dog feeling really good about being in the spot we've decided. And I chose the sofa because it puts us at the same level. Your bed works the same way. So that takes the reaching over the dog or around the dog, which can in and of itself be additionally difficult, or it can actually be the hard part for dogs, is like too overwhelming. So now I'm gonna go ahead and name this. So I'm gonna say spot. Yes. 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 Okay. So this next time, because she's been feeling pretty good about going up there, right there, I'm going to start a little bit of reaching. So what that's gonna look like is me picking my hand up. I know that the whole gesture is me picking my hand up and moving it towards her, but that's gonna be too much too soon. So what I'm gonna start doing once she's in position is picking up my hand, saying yes and rewarding, picking up my hand, saying yes and rewarding. Okay. Spot. Yes. Yes. I'm gonna reward her on the surface while I get my treats ready. I'm gonna reach. Yes. 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 This dog doesn't have any issues, yes, with hands reaching towards, but I'm gonna play around with both. Yes. 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 So your goal is no offensive or defensive, posturing on your dog's part about this. Yes. Yes. I did a little tap. Yes. So you don't have to go straight for the area. If they're worried about around their head, you don't have to go straight to that area. You could do a leg. Yes. I'm going to reset. Okay. Now, if I was gonna talk about adding an equipment, I'd go ahead and get my equipment. I'd keep this just in my lap. I might even start with this in my back pocket. And what I'm gonna do is have her restart. I'm conditioning her to understand that things are gonna happen in this location. And part of going to this location is her opting in. She can change her mind at any time. Spot. I'm gonna give a couple of rewards just for going to location. Now I'm gonna show, yes. Yes. I'm gonna start to clip my clip. Yes. So those sounds coming really close to the dog face, yes. Yes. Good job. Okay. Start with creating your stationing cue, and then you're going to work on handling. Handling involves your hands. Bringing your hand up is the first part. As your dog is cool with that, you're not seeing any movement away or walking away. You're going to start to add a little bit of a reach. Pick it up, a little bit of a reach. And so you're thinking about your hand and the distance it needs to travel to touch the dog. And you're working incrementally, showing them how this is going to go. And you're always letting them opt out. So if at any point your dog chooses to leave, you're like, that was getting hard, right? So you'll have to work through that hard part, but your goal when you're doing this work is to stay within the zone of comfortable with your dog and working towards spots that are less comfortable for your dog, but in such a predictable, intentional way that your dog is able to say, oh, I see what's happening, and I'm opting in. Opting out is also totally okay. It just means that we're releasing the dog, and then we're reviewing our plan and saying, was I asking my dog to do too much too soon? And I can just slow things down. These sessions are typically really short, especially to start, but owing to the predictability of how you're handling this, it should start to feel reasonable to your dog. And opting in should look like opting in because they know what's coming and they understand, and you've already started doing that conditioning and they're really liking it.